YouTube? It's Red Blizzard back at you once again. I want to talk about how wokeism has literally destroyed the Star Wars franchise. And it's not solely because, well, it might be how they deviate from original formats to fit in certain new characters. And in this new day and age, those new characters, it never seems to fail me. And a lot of these old franchises that are being brought to the forefront and repackaged in a new way have all these feminist overtones and wokeism in it. It's just ruining the whole thing. Now, I had high hopes for watching Obi-Wan Kenobi. I really did. I really wanted to get into it. I really wanted to enjoy it. Even though in the back of my mind, it's like my spidey senses was tingling. It's like I knew, and I was trying to ignore all the red flags of the environment and what has been done to classic franchises and even new like shows, movies, series. All these new characters are coming out, and if you notice, even with video games, it's always molded into a fashion that the hero and the survivor will always be a woman. And her sidekick will always be an effeminate male, especially a black one. If it's a black male that's effeminate, he will, if he don't survive with a woman character as the main lead, he's going to survive all the way to the end. And then maybe he gets hurt, or maybe they kills him, but he's going to be one of the last two standing. That's how this environment is. And watching Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the woman, the dark-skinned sister, they refer to her as third sister. Gee, what a surprise. If you critique her acting ability, which sucks, she can't act. Okay, let's get that out in open. She cannot act worth a damn. But I find it kind of crazy and weird that you can't even call out her acting ability without all these feminists and all these white knights wanting to step in and especially the sisterhood, the community, or you just say that you don't like black women. You hate your mother, you hate your sister. All these stupid ass talking points when it's blatantly obvious, it's right in your face. She cannot act. Her acting is terrible. But you know what comes through in her acting ability that reveals the community as a whole, the black community, is her unnecessary attitude and her hard-headedness, stubbornness, unwilling to follow orders, has no self-discipline at all, does not in any way, shape, form, or fashion respect the hierarchy of which she's tasked to uphold. None of that. None of that means anything. You tell her to do something, it goes in one ear and out the other because she wants to do what she wants to do. And how dare you stand in her way and say that she's wrong? It's quite the microcosm of how the black community is as a whole when dealing with these cane toters, these black women. And it bleeds through the whole working of this series, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Cancel. It just bleeds through. And the problem is it had so much potential, and they could have went in various directions, but of course they chose to go in the woke direction. Gee, how surprising is that? And you can't even give an honest assessment of this woman's acting ability or lack thereof. And you go to the community, as brothers like to call it. And well, you ask black women who may have stumbled upon this series, who historically don't give a shit about Star Wars, comics, Marvel, DC, none of that anyway. The only reason why they might stumble upon it nowadays is because it's popular and they want to flow in any direction where popularity is, because they need the attention that oozes off of those situations. It's the only reason they even remotely know anything about the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. But you criticize the acting ability that's well deserved. You criticize the acting ability of this woman, and they are quick to jump in and defend her. How dare you? Her acting is great. She played in this and she played in that. And the only reason they know this is because they saw her in the Star Wars series. They found out what her name is. They started Googling, and oh, she played in this, she played in that. Good for her. So now they want to put on their feminist capes and come save the so-called honor of this belligerent, hard-headed character who actually reflects them in real-life situations, their fucked up attitudes and the way they carry themselves. You can't even criticize, and it's an honest criticism. I mean, her acting sucks. I mean, to the point where it's like, now little Leia, her acting is bad too, but what is she, like 5 years old, 6 years old? I mean, it's a little different, you know, when you want to assess her acting ability. But the so-called third sister, she's a full-grown woman. But you can't criticize her at all. Oh, no, the woke mafia will cut off your feet and make you run a marathon. Because they hate that. How dare you? And it just systematically has ruined and destroyed the Star Wars franchise. And it's not just this project. They're shoehorning so much feminism in these spin-off movies and episodes, these series that are coming out, and it's just rife with all of this male bashing, and a man can no longer be the hero. Oh, are you fucking crazy? A man be the hero in this day and age? How dare you? That can never happen unless he's effeminate. Then maybe we'll let him survive to the end. That'll be the closest to come to it. And she's just ruining. She cannot. I mean, I find it hard to believe that there was nobody else that they could find that actually, you know, any other actress that has great acting ability. You mean to tell me there was nobody else you could find? And I'm sure there was, but they didn't look very hard because they wanted to shove this wokeism in the form of a Trojan horse to blatantly destroy the franchise. That's exactly what's taking place in Hollywood now. And it's not just the Star Wars franchise. Oh no, so much wokeism is bleeding throughout. All of these comic turn live action movies. And I'll even do you one better. You know why we couldn't get A Big Trouble in Little China Part 2? Because the creator of the first one, because of the environment we currently are in, he says, oh bro, I don't want to do another one in the traditional movie format because the first one was so blatantly racist. So instead of doing a sequel to the movie, he did like a book or like a, it was like a comic or something. It was in a book format, and then he made some like little toys or whatever, and that was his version of as good as it is going to get as far as a sequel, as close as it's going to get. It's not going to be any like real sequel as far as going to the movie theater or even a straight to streaming movie. He just completely tossed it out because he said, oh, the first one was so racist, which is a bunch of nonsense because he's a part of what's wrong with woke, ultra-feminist societies. There's so much emotion just stirred into the pot, creating this unnecessary environment. I mean, there's a lot of black people, including myself, that love Big Trouble in Little China. Supposedly there was, in regards to like the so-called the racism and the jokes and everything, there were things said about Asians and all Asian community. There's a lot of Asians that love that movie. The problem is there's so much fishing going on. Oh, we can't possibly ever do a sequel to the movie, create a franchise from a hit cult classic from the 80s. Because, oh my goodness, the first one was so racist. The woke mafia has run amok in this fucking country. And it sucks and it stinks because everything is being systematically destroyed. Whenever there's a movie that's made, and it don't have to be a live action superhero movie, comic book related or anything like that. It can be just your run-of-the-mill, just a regular movie. If there's a regular movie that's made, and there's a straight male as the main character, the hero of the movie, that movie will not stay. Number one, it won't stay in movie theaters that long, and there's a very good chance it will go straight to streaming networks, streaming apps, and it'll never be in a movie theater. The reason why the sequel to Top Gun is such a big hit, was that it said 800 million worldwide and counting. The reason it's such a big hit is because instead of swimming in a river of feelings and drinking all this wokeism crap and this anti-man crap, from what I understand, I haven't seen the movie yet. I haven't had time, but I'm definitely going to see it because instead of talking shit and just throwing rocks at men and toxic masculinity is bad and all, it's so terrible, it's ruining everybody and this and that. From what I understand, Top Gun Maverick embraces so-called, air quotes, toxic masculinity. This is the reason why I'm definitely going to see this movie, because it's a one-offer. In this day and age, it's one of a kind. The lead character is a straight male. How often do you get movies like this in today's times? Not very often. And when you do get one, there's no real powerful marketing force behind it. It's just not. With Top Gun Maverick, it has basically kicked down the door of wokeism because of the amount of money it's generating worldwide. Money talks, no matter what you think, how you feel about it, whether you hate capitalism or you love capitalism or not, money talks. By Top Gun approaching $1 billion worldwide, it can't be ignored. And the feminist mafia hates it. The wokeism mafia hates it for that very reason. This is why I must see that movie. Because when it comes to historical franchises like Star Wars, it has been taken over and basically ruined. And when you call out aspects of it, you get shouted down and called names. And oh, how dare you. She's a great actress. No, she's not. She sucks. And she should be replaced. She should be killed off or something. And the reason why they're caping for this woman is because it's a black woman. And that's what the society has devolved into. No accountability. And when you call certain things out, you get shouted down, something's wrong with you. And that is the shit stew that we're all in. And these ultra wokeism, liberal lefties, they blatantly hate anybody that's literally paying attention to this dumb shit. Oh, they hate it all. They hate it. I might have watched 3 episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, and it has pissed me off so much. I don't even think I want to watch it anymore. I mean, I try to block out certain things, but it's just so. It's just, you watch shows, you watch movies to mentally escape and enjoy art imitating life imitating art, the whole 360-degree stew of entertainment, of art. You want to enjoy it. You should not feel disturbed and angered. It should not remind you of how fucked up this environment has evolved into when it comes to this ultra wokeism. But watching that series, that's exactly what it does. But, hey, what can I say? You can see the writing on the walls years ago. But men, keep on fighting a good fight. Embrace toxic masculinity, because that's what's going to be the backbone of this country, whether the ultra wokeism lefties like it or not. It's the way it's going to be, period. And with that being said, Red Blizzard is in the wind once again. I'm out.